Hey there! Today I'm walking you through the entire process of capturing a clean, natural-sounding voiceover using just your smartphone for any project you have. This method works seamlessly whether you are on an iPhone or an Android device, so you never have to worry about platform limitations. If you find any of this guidance helpful for your content creation, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe for more practical, real-world tips like these. The basic flow is wonderfully straightforward. First, you prepare your space, then you record the audio, clean up any immediate issues, and finally, drop it neatly into your chosen editor. I will cover the essential steps for doing this directly on your phone, using CapCut as a simple example, alongside pro tips and a faster workflow for scaling up with tools like Vizard. Let's start with preparation because nailing this part is genuinely 70% of the final result you will achieve. Your absolute first goal is to find a spot that is quiet, not necessarily dead silent, but definitely free from distracting background noise. Specifically, you want to eliminate the constant hum of an air conditioner, loud passing traffic, or roommates having a loud conversation nearby. If you can, surround yourself with soft materials like draping a heavy hoodie over your head or placing a thick blanket directly behind you to absorb sound reflections. Make sure your phone itself rests on a completely stable surface so that any vibration or accidental handling noise is completely minimized. If you happen to have access to an external microphone, even a simple lavalier or a small USB condenser will seriously elevate your audio quality. However, let's be real, modern built-in phone microphones are quite capable, so the technique matters more than the equipment in many cases. The most critical physical factor you must manage is distance. You should aim for about 6 to 12 inches directly between your mouth and the microphone opening. Crucially, please do not clamp the phone directly against your chest or shirt, as this captures terrible resonant body noise. Next up is choosing your recording application. And for on-the-go editing, CapCut is fantastic because it is free and works across different platforms. Your phone's native voice memo application is also a perfectly viable option, especially if you prefer recording dedicated audio files first. For this specific tutorial, I am sticking with CapCut since it allows us to keep the capture and the editing steps neatly contained in one place. Before you ever press that record button, scrub the main video timeline forward to the exact point where you want your narration to actually begin. If you are narrating the entire video from the top, you should naturally set this starting position right at the very beginning of the project. This simple act of placing the cursor helps your mind sync up much more naturally with the visual action as you begin speaking. Now navigate down to the audio controls at the bottom of the screen and locate the dedicated record button or icon within your editor. Tap that record button, grant the app microphone access if it asks you for the first time, and anticipate the short countdown timer that follows. Use that brief countdown period as your chance to reset your posture. Take one final stabilizing breath and mentally prepare your opening line. When the timer hits 0, start speaking right away, aiming for a conversational tone, just like you are explaining the video to a close friend. Resist the urge to rush through your sentences or whisper, and work hard to maintain that exact same speaking distance throughout the entire take. If you stumble over a word or completely fluff a sentence, just stop talking, take a short pause, and immediately re-record that specific segment. Remember that you have the power to trim away all the awkward pauses and the discarded flubbed parts very easily in the cleanup stage later on. A key tip while recording is to keep your vocal energy absolutely consistent because sudden volume drops are surprisingly difficult to correct later. Be mindful of distracting mouth noises and heavy inhalation sounds by angling your phone slightly off axis rather than speaking directly into the center hole. It is much easier for you and your editor if you deliberately use shorter, punchier sentences, as this allows for cleaner section re-recording. If you are reading from a script, practice making it sound like genuine conversation, never letting your delivery become overly robotic or monotone. Conversely, if you are speaking off the cuff, always have at least a brief outline of your key points so you do not ramble aimlessly. Once you finish speaking, immediately stop the recording and play the entire take back right away, making sure you listen through quality headphones. Listening back lets you easily detect annoying handling noise, any lingering room reverb, or digital clipping from speaking too loudly into the mic. If the audio sounds too thin, try moving marginally closer or slightly further away from the microphone and record just one more pristine take. CapCut provides all the fundamental tools right there to trim the edges, split out mistakes, set your volume level, and even add a simple noise filter if necessary. If you originally recorded in a separate Memos app, just export that clean audio file and import it directly into your main editor, like CapCut. Here are a few essential micro-edits I always perform on every single voiceover track I produce for maximum tightness. First, aggressively trim any unnecessary silence from the very beginning and the very end of your narration clips. Next, normalize the overall volume or slightly boost it so that your voice levels remain perfectly steady across all connected clips. Apply noise reduction very lightly only if you detect a persistent low-level background hum, but avoid overprocessing. which sounds artificial. Consider using a gentle equalizer boost around 2 to 6 kHz if your voice sounds a bit dull or lacking clarity in the mix. Also, gently roll off any unwanted super low-end rumble that might be creeping in below 80 to 100 Hz using a high-pass filter. If you are layering music underneath, always utilize sidechain compression, commonly called ducking, so the music lowers volume when you speak. Perfecting the final sync means making tiny timing tweaks so that every word lands exactly synchronized with the corresponding visual moment on screen. Don't hesitate to stitch together the absolute best short phrases from multiple different takes. That is the secret to achieving that truly professional sound. Now let's discuss a major workflow upgrade, which is particularly beneficial if you are someone who produces a high volume of content every week. While recording on your phone is brilliant for a few one-off videos, it becomes inefficient when you manage long streams or multiple weekly uploads. This is precisely where an intelligent AI-powered tool designed for clipping, like Vizard, can completely revolutionize your entire process. The modern workflow I personally use involves first recording your entire long-form video, perhaps a live stream or an interview, and uploading that master file. Vizard automatically analyzes all that raw footage using complex algorithms to pinpoint the most engaging and viral-worthy moments for you. The system then instantly turns those highlight segments into perfectly sized, ready-to-publish short clips, saving you potentially hours of manual cutting. After the AI generates these clips, you simply review the selection and mark which ones you feel still require a polished, custom voiceover narration. You can then record your sharp phone voiceovers for those specific shorts using CapCut or your memo app, keeping the recording simple. After final audio polish in CapCut, you might import that audio back into Vizard if you prefer to manage the final export and scheduling centrally. A massive benefit is that Vizard often handles the auto-scheduling, meaning it manages when and where each short version goes live across your platforms. This approach is genuinely nice because CapCut excels at hands-on, single video work, but it requires constant manual input for scaling tasks. Many other specialized tools only handle one small piece of the puzzle, like auto captions, and they often come with significant subscription costs. Vizard, conversely, aims to automate the truly heavy lifting, identifying engagement goldmines and batching the clip creation process for you. This automation does not replace your creative eye, as you absolutely must still review and approve every single piece of content. However, it drastically reduces the mundane, repetitive work, freeing you up to focus on your high-level strategy and creativity. We need to mention a few caveats when you are comparing these powerful editing and content surfacing tools available today. Some high-cost auto editors might still lock crucial features behind tiers, forcing you to manually tweak every single clip after the AI generates it. Be wary of certain one-click wonder applications that frequently select completely nonsensical clips lacking essential context for the viewer. Standalone mobile editors like CapCut give you total control, but they simply cannot scale effectively when you are faced with many hours of raw footage. So my primary recommendation is simple. For one video, just record your voiceover directly in CapCut on your phone and export. But if you are a busy creator with tons of long-form archives, leverage Vizard to surface clips, voiceover on your phone, and use the calendar to manage everything. This combined approach ensures your workflow remains lightning fast while keeping your audio sounding authentic and never overly promotional. When you are completely satisfied with the final result, navigate to the export function within your chosen mobile editor. Save the final file at the highest resolution your phone comfortably supports, knowing that 1080p is generally excellent for most major social feeds. Ensure your exported audio uses a standard, reliable bitrate, with AAC encoded at somewhere between 128 and 256 kilobits per second being perfectly fine for social upload. Once saved locally, you are ready to upload that polished clip directly to whichever platform you originally intended it for. Before you even hit record on your next session, run through this quick final checklist to avoid common pitfalls. Confirm you have a quiet room with plenty of soft surfaces nearby to dampen any unwanted echoes or reverb. Verify the phone is rock stable, and meticulously check that your mouth is positioned consistently between 6 to 12 inches away from the mic. Always record one short test, take first and immediately listen back to it, carefully, using your headphones to catch any immediate issues. Make certain your spoken energy remains high and engaging throughout the entire take, always aiming to sound like you are chatting with a good buddy. Remember those essential cleanup steps. Trim the dead air, slightly normalize the sound, and apply only very light equalization if needed. If you are generating a large content library, seriously consider integrating Vizard to automate the tedious job of extracting and scheduling those clips for you. Alright, that covers the complete rundown for getting professional mobile voiceovers, and it becomes surprisingly fast once you practice the routine a few times. Record a couple of good takes, trim out the mistakes, drop the audio in your editor, and you are ready to publish your excellent new video. If you genuinely found value in this guide today, please consider subscribing and definitely drop a comment below telling me which tools you currently rely on, CapCut, Vizard, or something else entirely. I will read through the responses and try my absolute best to cover those specific tools and techniques in my upcoming tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the very next video.